Hi there, I'm Becky Amble, and I would like to share a little AI tip with you today. This is going to be on ChatGPT, so let's get our screen up here, hopefully. All right, and what I want to do is share with you something that just happened recently, and my friend Paul sent me a email and asked me if he thought, or if I thought that he could do a postcard on ChatGPT, and he wanted to put together something for the Rotary Club fundraiser that's going to be coming up, and wanted to see what could be done, and then he's going to send it over to the printer. And I said, well, you could give that a try. I said, I've had good luck with Claude lately. Well, Paul really likes his ChatGPT, so that's what he used. I'm going to show you what he did, because it turned out really, really great, and it might be something that you would want to do for your business, or possibly some volunteer thing that you might be involved with. So let's take a look. And here is the first thing that he wrote, where he said, design a postcard size for donations in support of Bloomington Middle School sports program, donation levels of $40, $95, $300, and $2,000, and that it is sponsored by the Bloomington Noon Rotary. Now, Paul said it came back and asked him a bunch of questions, so I'm not sure if I have everything. You'll get the drift, though. Anyway, next, ChatGPT came back and said, hey, here's a polished postcard size donation card for you. And it went through and it said, here's what's on the front of the card, gave that information. Then it said, here's what's on the back of the card. And this had the information about the different donation levels, with information on how to donate and all that stuff. And also said that it could basically put in a QR code, and it's who the sponsor is. All right. Anyway, then ChatGPT is getting really good at asking questions, and it asked, Paul, would you like to format this into a printable postcard layout in a 4x6 size front and back, and have it ready in a PDF so it's ready to go to the printer? Paul said, very simple answer, yes. I love that. Anyway, here's what ChatGPT then said. Perfect. I just want to confirm what I'm going to do, which is great, because now it's making sure that it is getting clarity on what Paul asked it to do, and asked a couple more questions and asked for some answers. And so Paul said, yes, I would like a QR code and the mailing address. I'll give you that later. Right now, I want a draft. ChatGPT then goes on to say, all right, getting this ready. And would you like this in some sample colors and some graphics, etc.? Yes, do a print ready. Paul says, yes, do a print ready PDF. And here it comes. And it says, hey, got your draft ready, and it's formatted into a 4x6 postcard, front and back sides, placeholder for the logo, athlete photo, all that. So we're not going to look at that, because that would be here, and that's not quite what we need to know. Anyway, as this was going back and forth, Paul says, well, we can add some graphics. And ChatGPT, of course, says, well, of course, we can add some print-friendly graphics, and the Rotary logo, which is blue and gold, and the student athlete we will put in there, and the QR code placeholder at this point. And what also ChatGPT asks is, would you confirm that you would like to have the Rotary blue and gold colors for headings and accents? Because blue and gold are the Rotary colors. So it was already anticipating having some consistency. Would you prefer a realistic student photo, or a clean vector illustration, etc.? And then do you want to have the Rotary wheel graphic, which is the logo for Rotary? Anyway, all answers back, and he says, yes, use the official blue and gold colors, the Rotary colors, and put in a realistic student photo. And here's what it got. So I'm just going to click on that, and you can see this. The blue and gold colors were used here. There's the blue print. The Rotary wheel is in gold. And here he's got the information with the different donation levels. There's his QR code. I thought this turned out really, really good. So just remember, when you're doing this, that you want to iterate. A lot of times it's hard to know exactly what to put into an image, because images are so content heavy from the standpoint. You've got the colors, you've got the font, you've got the size, you've got do you want it realistic? Do you want it an illustration? There can be a lot of details. And a lot of times we don't think of all of that when we're doing it first. And this is where ChatGPT in particular is so good to come back and ask for clarification questions, as you saw happening through this whole dialogue, and then it comes up with what I think was really a terrific image. See what you think. And if you have a volunteer thing or maybe even something for your work where you want to create something like that, think about ChatGPT and see if it can do the job for you. Obviously, it didn't take Paul very long. And if it didn't work out, he wouldn't have spent that much time on it. See what you think and play around with it. If you get a chance to make something, let me know. I always love to hear how people are doing and what kinds of success stories or frustrations that you have. Thanks a lot, and we will see you next time.